Here we are at Clothesline, the show where we scrub them clean, string them up and put them to dry on the clothesline. Last week we finally managed to activate our payment gateway and got it to work. We're still working out the kinks, but we'd only know the kinks once we got it activated. And thank you all those who subscribed and showed us your support. We will be building a customized gateway so that none of your attempts are unsuccessful. Remember, our mission is to build a model with you, free of any advertising. Let's make this happen together. Unsurprisingly, the maximum airtime and print space this week went to Sachin's retirement. Sachin finally laid down his bat for tack and decided to walk into the sunset, but not before attending one final press conference. And understandably, the press were clamoring for his bite. What was not understandable was the lack of organization at the press conference, which made it sound like Arnab's studio, with journalists trying to outshout each other.
Sachin, this is Shoaib Ahmed from CNN IBN. Sachin, this is Shoaib Ahmed. Sachin, this way. Sachin, yeah, hi. Sachin, this is Shoaib.
So Sachin, I am Vishwanath from Sachin.
And what was worse than journalists trying to outshout each other were the questions themselves.
You know, West Indies playing against India, your farewell series, has the weak opposition taken the edge out of your farewell series?
सचिन 22 गज पर जब आप जा रहे थे तो हम तो बहुत ज़्यादा भावुक थे आपको देखकर, इतने सालों से देख रहे हैं, पर सवाल 22 गज से थोड़ी सी दूर पर है। हम सबको पता है कि पिताजी ने आपका नाम सचिन दा के नाम पर रखा था, तो ये जानना चाहूँगा थोड़ा सा 22 गज से दूर कि आज क्या मौका मिलता है सचिन दा के गाने सुनने का, अगर है तो कौन सा गाना आपका फेवरेट है?
Can you tell us how you think the Ashes might go?
Maybe news organizations should have sent their editors for the press conference, since it's obvious many of them had only Sachin on their mind, even though they were interviewing the Prime Minister of Great Britain.
It's wonderful to have a Prime Minister who loves cricket, and I thought we'd start with that, Mr. Prime Minister, because if there's one thing that binds India and England and Britain together, it is cricket. Is Tendulkar, quite simply, as we believe in this country, the greatest cricketer since Bradman?
Cricket is the only thing that binds India and Britain together? We thought it was this.
At the conclusion of World War II, Great Britain offered an autonomous state of existence to all of India, leaving the door open for complete independence later.
Or perhaps this.
I've been in love with Indian food for many years.
So the butter chicken, this is it. Bloody hell.
Or perhaps him. Or maybe him. Let's get back home. An expose done by Cobra Post and Gulail.com claimed that Amit Shah had ordered illegal surveillance of a young woman in 2009 on instructions of a certain Saib. The story broke on Friday, the 15th of November, but almost no television channel took up the story over the weekend, and it got way less airtime than one would expect. Information we have is that Anirudh Bell took this story to many mainstream news organizations who refused to carry it, after which he decided to break it with Ashish Khaitan of Gulail. Amit Shah must have been really grateful to Sachin for having gotten the media's attention away from him, assuming it was the Sachin effect and not the "oh shit, we are scared" effect that kept the story off. When Times now took up the Snoopgate story, as they called it, they were playing this clip where it says, in quote, "Times now does not vouch for the authenticity of this video."
That his daughter was in the know and the entire controversy should now be put to rest.
Or no, if you can't vouch for the authenticity, why are you showing it? So that you can get eyeballs thanks to the sensational nature of the clip, yet distance yourself in case it's a dud? Let's give you an example of how a journalist works.
When you go about it, it's not been authenticated. First of all, there are several sources we ascertain that the tapes were genuine. Number two, the tapes, the audio files are a part of the Ishrat Jahan charge sheet, and not only are they listed in the Panchnama in numbered, each audio file is numbered, the hash value has been taken out by each file. We translated the tapes from Gujarati into English. We checked with several of our sources about the authenticity.
Here Anirudh Bell is putting himself on the line, a dangerous line, and saying he's carried out due diligence before putting these wiretaps out there. Gulail and Cobra Post were convinced of the authenticity of the clip that they played, and only then did they release it to the public. If you can't do that due diligence on authenticity, then don't play the clip. That's journalism. Meanwhile, the BJP scored a self-goal once the Amit Shah wiretaps were made public. While Anirudh Bahl and Ashish Khaitan displayed responsible journalism by not revealing the name of the girl in question, who was put under surveillance, the BJP got the father to shoot off a letter giving Amit Shah and Narendra Modi a clean chit, revealing the girl's identity, which the journalist did well not to reveal. Also, at no point did Anirudh Bahl claim Sahib is Narendra Modi. It is the father's letter that brought his name into this. Anirudh went by facts alone, the ones he could vouch for. Speaking of facts, we stand corrected. In episode 20, we said that NDTV ignored the inaccurate statement made by RPN Singh, and it has been pointed out to us that NDTV did indeed carry the story.
Well, let's move on now to some other news. A bit of a faux pas from a central minister today. Minister of State for Home RPN Singh, when asked about security being given to Narendra Modi, talked about how, according to threat perception, adequate security would in fact be given to BJP's prime ministerial candidate. However, he also went on to say that the BJP had not provided security adequately for Rajiv Gandhi. Unfortunately, when Rajiv Gandhi was assassinated, the BJP wasn't in fact in power. In power, instead, was the Chandrasekhar government.
This 119-second story did in fact play just around 2.5 hours before an hour-long show about Modi's inaccuracies. Now coming back to the expose on Amit Shah. It wasn't long before the Congress and the BJP were exchanging blows and took their war of words into the NDTV newsroom. Nirmala Sitharaman of the BJP and Jayanti Natarajan led the charge. On who? On Ankita Mukherjee. Oh. News Laundry would like to present the Valiant Anchor of the Week award to Ankita Mukherjee, who bore the brunt of these blows. Just about. Boo, bum, 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 boo.
You've not allowed me to finish. You've not allowed me to finish what I'm trying to say.
Please go
I'm
ahead.
trying to say that together.
But why not agree to approve?
Finished my sentence. How do you read my mind? I grant it to you. You seem to read my mind quite often.
I don't at all. Please carry on.
I've not finished my sentence to conclude.
I'm not in a dialogue and in a back and forth tennis match with the BJP spokesperson. I'd like to finish what I'm saying.
Ouch. There was a lot of objection to the surveillance carried out on the young girl, but Nirmala Sitharaman couldn't understand why.
The father has the first right on the daughter.
The father has the first right on the daughter. The father has the first right on the daughter.
Nothing like a progressive spokesperson for a progressive party going into the elections next year. I think the Khap Panchayat is missing one member, and it's a lady.
और भाई बलवंत क्या हाल है तेरा?
अरे गाय भागती रहती है।
अच्छा तो क्या कर रहा है तू?
मैंने लट्टो को बोल दिया है वो पीछा कर रहा है, अगर मिल जाएगी तो मैं घर के पीछे बांध दूंगा।
अच्छा किया तूने।
और तेरी बेटी का क्या हाल है?
वो भी भागती रहती है कि यहाँ भागी वहाँ भागी, गोवा भाग गई थी। मैंने साहब को बोला पीछा कर रहा है, मिल जाएगी तो घर पे बांध दूंगा पीछे।
हाँ ये सही है। ठंड बहुत है।
तो शॉल ले लेना मैडम का।
अरे मैडम मर जाएगी।
तो औरत ही तो है, दूसरी आ जाएगी, आदमी थोड़ी ना है।
वेरी गुड।
चलो मैडम शो करो, अब हम चलते हैं काम करने।
Brutes. The father has the first rights on a daughter. What about us mothers? Second rights? And sons? If we ever have a remake of Diwar, we'll probably be hearing this.
आज मेरे पास बिल्डिंगें हैं, प्रॉपर्टी है, बैंक बैलेंस है, बंगला है, गाड़ी है, क्या है तुम्हारे पास?
मेरे पास पाय. Now we'd like to point out some fantastic reporting, and I'm serious, from this brilliant reporter Kamal Khan.
दोस्तों, आज मैं आपको बताऊंगा फिल्म बेशरम के बारे में.
Wrong, Kamal Khan, Budhus. It's the Kamal Khan of NDTV. Oh. He's a reporter with the heart of a poet, whom we don't see on air that much. But when he did surfaces last week, he brightened up our day with this report.
लखनऊ के इस गांव में ये सबसे बड़ा फोटो स्टूडियो है. यहाँ सन्नी हर्षा का फोटो सेशन कर रहे हैं. फिर ये फोटो अखिलेश से बहन को मिले लैपटॉप में ट्रांसफर कर देते हैं. हर्षा का रंग सांवला है, सन्नी उसे फोटोशॉप में गोरा कर रहे हैं. अखिलेश यादव ने जब ये लैपटॉप बांटा था तब उन्होंने कल्पना भी नहीं की होगी कि उनका लैपटॉप किसी गांव में लोगों की तस्वीर गोरी करने का काम करेगा. अगर हमारा रंग सांवला है तो गोरा कर देंगे आप?
बिल्कुल, हम उसको भी गोरा कर देंगे.
कमाल, ग्रेट रिपोर्ट, रियली. मुलायम जी गौर फरमाइएगा, हिंदी में मैं बोल रही हूँ. आपके लैपटॉप या गोदी के ऊपर रखने वाले यंत्र किस काम आ रहे हैं? लोगों को गोरा करने के लिए?
Madhu, please put some powder. You're looking very dark.
Where's my laptop? Right? How's it now?
Much better, Madhu.
देखा मेरे गोरापन का राज Hewlett Packard.
Brilliant. तुम मेन डांसर और तुम साइड से पढ़ना.
इतना टैलेंट होकर भी पर्दे के पीछे टिया. ये ऐसा चेहरा जो है, ये लो स्पेशल 30 दिन वाली ट्यूब है. रोज लगाओ फिर देखो चांद वहाँ या यहाँ.
फेयर एंड लवली की नई 30 दिन वाली ट्यूब. रोज लगाओ और पाओ चांद सा निखार.
बाकी सब भूल जाओ. HP का स्पेशल लैपटॉप 30 दिन में नहीं 3 मिनट में लाए आपके चेहरे पर निखार. मेरे गोरेपन का राज HP लैपटॉप.
Nishant Chaturvedi of News Express, who set out to gauge the mood of the people by running through the narrow gullies of Kilokari village in Delhi.
ठीक गांव के अंदर चलते हैं और देखते हैं वहां पर लोगों को क्या कहना है. किलोकरी गांव में क्या-क्या दिक्कतें हैं आपको? पानी, बिजली, सड़क.
बहुत सी दिक्कतें हैं.
जैसे
रोड इतनी खराब है, सारी की सारी बहुत रोड खराब है.
क्या-क्या दिक्कतें आती हैं?
दिक्कत तो कुछ सही है, मतलब पानी
की दिक्कत है.
यहाँ पे सड़कें खराब हैं.
पानी की भी दिक्कत है भैया. यहाँ तो सीवर भी रोज तीसरे दिन भरे रहते.
सीवरेज का बड़ा प्रॉब्लम है. कमी आता है पानी नहीं आता है.
पानी की भी है भैया, ये गंदगी की भी है. हम 1 साल से गंदा पानी पी रहे हैं, उसका जिम्मेवार कौन है?
He gets the Usain Bolt Award for maximum box pops in 16 minutes flat. Now that's how you connect with the people. One man who was having trouble connecting with the people this week was Rahul Gandhi, who experienced a major embarrassment at a rally in Delhi when his thirsty and annoyed audience decided to stage a walkout.
मोटे तौर पर काफी लोग आ गए थे सुनने के लिए, लेकिन राहुल गांधी ने जैसे ही बोलना शुरू किया, पीछे से बहुत सारे लोग उठ करके जाने लगे.
Clearly he is no longer the blue-eyed boy of the public, and neither is he the blue-eyed boy of the news channels, many of whom really decided to play this up. And if you want to believe the word on the street, the Congress senior leaders were rather pleased to see Rahul draw such thin crowds, since they've had to smile and nod and bear the disdain he shows them publicly.
Just smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave.
And since Rahul's mother wasn't on hand to save the day, he had to settle for this instead.
ये जो प्यारी बहनें जा रही हैं ना, मैं आपसे कहती हूँ 10 मिनट और रुक जाओ. राहुल जी की आवाज तो सुन के जाओ. मुझे मालूम है खाना की भूख लग रही है, लेकिन थोड़ी देर रुक जाओ.
Get this, it's hard to believe. The Information and Broadcasting Ministry last month passed an advisory ordering television channels not to compare the Prime Minister's speech to other speeches. This is like a rich mom walking into nursery and saying, nobody's allowed to tease my kid. Before going any further, in INB parlance, this is what an advisory is.
I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
जनाब, अगले 3 घंटे में लड़की सही सलामत अपने घर वापस नहीं पहुंची तो पूरे इलाके में इतना बम मारेंगे कि इलाका धुआं हो जाएगा.
Now you know what an advisory is. Perhaps the same courtesy should be extended to poor Rahul to save him the embarrassment. But the INB Ministry advisory was actually a very serious issue, as it looked to curb the media, and that's something we're struggling against all the time. This issue was covered by NDTV and CNN-IBN. NDTV, in their typical convent, safe, boring style, behaved like the coy girl at the party who showed up and refused to dance, not really taking the government to task. On CNN-IBN, Rajdeep went at the government for this advisory like any solid journalist should. Rajdeep really took the INB ministry by the... Nuts? No, by the scruff of their neck. Shabash, Rajdeep. Even though I know you don't care what I think. Meanwhile, India's loudest champion for freedom and straight question deemed it unworthy of super prime time. That's right. Arnab missed the boat on this one. But that's forgiven, because while everyone was jumping on the bandwagon, Arnab was busy being a pioneer. Not content with pioneering the concept of super prime time, Arnab decided he needed more firsts on this show.
Now it's very interesting. For the first time, we are going very factual on the News Hour tonight. Very factual.
Wait, what? First time? But what are all the previous times when you said...
These are some written facts, so, you know, just making a factual point on that, please. That's a fact. You answer the fact. I have all the facts with me today, Mr. Hilali, and let's be square on this.
Oh, Arnab, you've broken our hearts. All those were not facts, but it's okay, Arnab. We still love you. And here was another first.
Everyone should listen to this. This is not a mushaira session on the news hour, but this is poetry versus poetry. For the first time on national television, the JDU's poetry versus the BJP's poetry. Go ahead.
2 lines, very simple. Khatawar. Khatawar means guilty. Khatawar समझेगी दुनिया तुझे. बस इतनी भी ज़्यादा सफाई ना दे. बस इतनी भी ज़्यादा सफाई ना दे.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is why Times Now is the most watched English news channel in India. And a reminder to aspiring panelists, if you're going to recite poetry, you better learn the author's name. After all, the news hour is all about facts.
The one who was like the unchecked ship of God. The one whose map stretched
poetry is that?
Beyond this world.
Whose poetry is
the one who crossed the 7 oceans with ease.
Whose poetry is that?
The one who rested not in peace.
Whose poetry is that?
Nor balked in adversity.
Whose poetry is that?
He drowned when it came to the Gangetic land.
Whose poetry is that? Whose poetry is that?
That's a poetry which he quoted over there.
Others follow trends that Judge Arnab sets. So at News Laundry we said, come let's. Verse is now, prose is so last season. So we make it rhyme, we don't make reason. Carrying on in winter started last fall. Here's another trendsetter, Arvind Kejriwal. For example, advertising behind autos quickly followed by the BJP and others. The radio bombardment of his voice quickly followed by the Congress and the BJP. But the one we won't forgive him for is starting this trend of ending every speech with this.
हमारी पार्टी का संदेश है, ये मैं गा के सुनाना चाहता हूँ। इंसान का इंसान से हो भाईचारा, यही पैगाम हमारा, यही पैगाम हमारा.
And the trend seems to have caught on.
क्या हुआ तेरा वादा वो कसम वो.
Now Arvind warns his audience before he starts by telling them that he's a bad singer. But others don't extend this courtesy. In fact, some even think they're Bon Jovi and Jyotiraditya Scindia. That's not a compliment. We would like to compliment Rajdeep for his short and excellent interview with Bharat Ratna winner CNR Rao. But wait, Rao already did that. And what is this episode? Is full of Rajdeep's praise. What are we doing, sucking up to him?
You know, yes. Thank you, and you are so good. You are so good doing it. Thank you very much.
We're imagining CNR Rao was being so nice to the media, so they wouldn't go to town on his "politicians are idiotic" comment. But Sanjay Jha decided to use the same "oh, you're so wonderful" method to get into Arnab's good books. So maybe he could stop getting bashed the way he does.
I'm glad I'm on News Hour, which is watched by a lot of people.
Sanjay. It's going to take more than that to get Arnab to stop bashing you on his show. Because you are the show.
Well, it's a big show.
No one would come to a gladiators contest if there wasn't any defenseless victim getting beaten up. Moving on from compliments to something way below par. This week, we have a special award for the worst story done in the most cringe-inducing way ever, even by the standards set by India News. The story was on Narayan Sai's alleged love child, in which they used images from some Hollywood films, a song Papa Mein To Papa Ban Gaya, and other B-grade elements borrowed from films and television shows. Who does that?
Madhu, we do.
Right. Anyway, just watch this clip.
आसाराम का एक पोता भी है। साई की भागदौड़ से शायद गुजरात पुलिस हार मान चुकी, नारायण की प्रॉपर्टी जब्त हो जाएगी.
Dear Indian News graphic artists, we're looking for talented graphic artists like yourself with a creative bend, but we don't do serious news like you do. But if that's okay with you, then please contact us at 1-800-FALTU-NEWS or even tweet to us, just like the NDTV reporters do to each other. Here's Gargi and Sunetra discussing what news report they're carrying in which bulletin on Twitter. Has NDTV fallen on such hard times that their phones have been taken away? Or probably they're so ahead of the times that they only communicate on Twitter, which is better than Arvind Kejriwal and Anna communicating on air. It seems that news channels is their Twitter, since whatever one needs to say to the other, one isn't saying to the other, but one is saying to the other millions watching news in anticipation that the other will be one of those viewers. Now, Arvind has claimed he tried to call Anna, but Anna's entourage at Ralegaon doesn't get him on the phone. So might we suggest learn from NDTV reporters and just communicate on Twitter?
Hey dude, where is my money?
What money, bro?
They told me you've been spending my money, dude.
Who's they, bro?
Them.
WTF? I'm trying to call. Why won't you pick up, bro?
And waste my money on your phone bills. Hashtag no chance. Dude, you also used my food allowance for your campaign.
WTF? But you were on hunger strike. Hashtag attention hungry.
Stealing Sagarika's thunder, NDTV's Left, Right and Centre program had an entire show to discuss the question, should ATMs have guards? I'm sure they must have found one panelist who said, no, they shouldn't have guards. I don't want to be safe. We have some suggestions for future programs of Left, Right and Centre. They should ask, should the army have soldiers? Another one, should a football team have players? And the best one, should NDTV have reporters? I want to ask this question, should ATMs have guards? Did this question come from the left, right or centre brain? Thank you again for showing us your support by subscribing to us. Please do subscribe, and in case for some reason the payment gateway doesn't work on your browser or machine, you can do a wire transfer or even send us a check. That's a wrap for the week. If you have any moments from journalism that made you go, oh wow, or oh crap, or made you go,
how they are hiding the guilt,
then write into us or tweet to us. We are the change. You are the change, for better or worse. Never do nothing. Stay connected. Stay online.